What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Dark Hour. So, we've definitely heard...
It was already, Daniel's thing was already like
dang.
It says floating.
Oh, wow.
It ain't even got started yet, and we already...
I guess they happy that time out there floating.
I know, apparently
Lord,
so.
like, you'll float too. You'll float too.
So, Appalachian Mountains.
Well, that's a place I call home.
I think we've all heard the stories about the mountains and all the different spooks out there and creepers out there.
Most of my childhood was spent up there, so it's just kind of hitting home.
Well, I guess that answered everything then.
So what are our thoughts about these possible feral people?
Well, planning this show, I never did think about the devastation that we were going to have up there. So, first, I'd like to say to anybody that's listening from that area, but we're definitely thinking about you. But to get into that, yes, feral people.
I think about what's those people in West Virginia they talk about?
The feral people.
No, but there's an actual family.
Oh, yeah. What is those people called? They're like incest. Like their family tree does not sprout. And like one of them, they sleep with like the brothers sleep with each other and stuff. So yeah, not like sleep, but like you know what I'm saying. But I don't know.
When
I don't know
think
really
of like feral people, I think of people that, like, I think it's different from people that are like survivalists.
Oh, it's the Whitakers.
Is that what their name was?
The Whitakers, yeah. They're still out there.
Oh yeah, they're still.
It's still a very real family.
That's just in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, they still live there. Yeah.
Can't talk. Half of them can't talk.
One of them, they kind of like. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's his cousin.
I'm not making fun by any means.
I shouldn't be laughing.
They've been known. Well, they've only let this one or two journalists in that's been filming them lately.
Yeah.
But they have a tendency to basically shoot you if you come on their property, kill you.
That aspect I get. I mean, because when you're dealing with like incest and stuff like that, you unfortunately you just don't know what you're gonna get. No. You know, I mean, you've got the same chemicals, same DNA mixing together. Yeah, you're definitely going to have some issues for sure. And on top of that, if they're not getting educated or anything like that, yeah, I'm like, they're not going to speak. They're just, I mean, it's going to be almost like, an entire family full of a disability.
Yeah, you could get something real good or you can get something real bad.
Yeah, it's untelling, I don't know, but so I guess
that's where Bigfoot came from.
I don't know about that, but
but I don't consider there's different aspects. Like some people will consider, you're people that want to live off the grid. I don't consider somebody like that as a feral person. When I think feral, I think of like a feral cat that you don't know how to react to society.
Well, feral when they're talking about feral, they're talking like. They're talking like he'll have eyes type deal.
They're talking like they don't even look like people anymore.
Yeah. That I can see. I mean, why not? You're isolated.
Yeah.
You're isolated. You're in the woods.
I mean, we talking about people that look like Smeagol or Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. No.
Probably.
They literally look like my precious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stir the rain.
The hobbitses.
You stupid hobbitses. Sorry, I had to. I had to do something really different there. I had to make myself.
That I do think exists.
Yeah.
Up in the woods somewhere. I'm pretty sure nobody has fully seen every area of the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be.
There's all little holes, nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
Well, they ain't there no more, but.
Well, the high country's still there.
That's rough though.
No, I'm talking about the high country, not where.
But it is the high country.
That ain't it's higher. They got higher area than that.
Not Mitchell.
So. And who knows if they're how their housing is set up, or whether it's actually hidden within a mound somewhere. I don't know.
Cave.
Yeah, possibly underground. I mean, there's all kinds of, and you know what? I honestly think they probably could survive. You could probably survive off of the dang on vegetation that's growing out there. Yeah, and you're hunting and stuff like that. Like, people were talking about, they're like, oh, there's feral people that they call like wild men or whatever, but yet livestock's missing. I'm like, well, they're not eating each other.
And I'm about
So
you'll find that most of their vegetation up there is almost the same as what we got here because they're close enough. But,
well, it's probably even better.
I mean, most of their
some of their garden stuff's probably better than what we got.
Thank good Lord here that I deal with plants for a living. So
you know, it's the same thing like that little show. What was it called? Like Outlast or something like that in Alaska.
Yeah.
They're out there for 30 days. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna lose, you know, body fat and stuff like that. But I'm like, depending on, I'm like, I feel like if you.
What did it say?
region.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, it's a region, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that not wild how that thing kind of corresponds?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm like, that thing. It's always something related to whatever we're talking about.
If it was just
the app finally updated after like 5 years of being the same.
Yeah, and so like
if now no matter what it'll talk to you. You can't turn it off. It'll say the word now no matter what. So.
Yeah. So like see, he threw my train of thought off. But what I was trying to say is if it was just saying hairball things, I probably would have a problem with it. But it's
we had that one app that one we tried a long time ago that was like that, where it just like stupid random stuff. Like it was not intelligent. This is intelligent.
Yeah.
It's actually got like context to what it say? Large. Yeah, so that's a large area.
The mountains are large.
That's kind of what I was trying to hit on, is that the area is large. Now, we're talking about a mountain, so I'm not sure that my grandma won't show up.
If you think about it, the whole chain, technically, if you read it, it goes from the upper end of Alabama and Georgia all the way up to Maine.
Yeah.
And the last time that we were talking about the Appalachian Mountains, we were talking about how it was like there was some areas that they wanted you to stay.
Yeah. There's like part of the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
Oh no. So I've actually been out there. I've actually been on the trail. Mm-hmm. Now my father has done the entire thing.
He's went all the way to Maine.
He's been not at one time.
But he has done.
He has done the entire trail multiple times. Actually,
that's cool, man.
But he took us up. So the reason why North Carolina mountains gets most of the out of the whole Appalachian chain, you think of North Carolina. We're the largest part of the Appalachian Mountains, just the most vast area, the highest altitude.
Yeah.
We are the biggest part of the mountain chain. When you get up and down, it's kind of more just like hills. But it's the largest area. But I've been up there between, kind of up there on the North Carolina-Virginia line. We did Mount Rogers.
We were near the area where there was an Ashland trailhead where we vacationed in Hot Springs.
Yep.
So
we did.
There was a trailhead there because
I'm saying there's areas right that are like. Well, get to your point.
That's what I was getting at. So we hiked about 7 miles on that trail that day when we went camping.
Okay.
On the trail while we were up there, and you would walk down the path, and there'd be certain points where it was like, "Do not go past this point." And
don't they have markers though?
They're little.
One lady said, the lady,
they're on like a little pole.
Yeah, the lady was saying that there's some kind of marker.
But then you'll get to certain points and you won't see them anymore. But then you'll get to other points and you'll see like, hey, like basically, if you go past this point and something happens, we ain't coming for you.
Yeah. See,
kind of thing.
Those are probably the areas that if I'm gonna be in the woods somewhere and I don't want anybody to find me, that's where I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go where nobody's around, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be seen.
Part of that has to do with state parks, and they're wanting to keep it as virgin as possible. If that makes sense. They don't want any.
Well, I'm sure.
On the land.
But the thing is, who's overseeing all of this? How would you even know?
They fly drones out there. They flew them over us one time.
Yeah, but they didn't have drones, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm just saying now, but
that right there, that's
it's all about a lot of those. Not gonna say the whole trail, but a lot of those, at least the North Carolina part, are for land preservation. They don't want you, where there's a human, there's gonna be trash. Where there's a human, there's gonna be shit.
Yep. Wow, that's true too.
We're not gonna do the theoreticals of the movies. We're just gonna pretend that there ain't no drone, nobody's overseeing. That's where we're gonna go hide.
Well, I didn't say they do that. I didn't say that they look over the whole thing now.
Yeah.
But they got some fancy stuff out there now. They got stuff they can fly. They got stuff they can fly up so high and get, like, for instance, if you were lost, and they can read your body heat so high that you wouldn't even be able to hear it.
Well, that's FLIR technology. That's been around.
Yeah.
FLIR technology has been around
but not on
about 20 years.
Not on a drone, though.
Yeah, but on helicopters, it's been, police helicopters.
I'm saying they can fly so high that you can't even hear them.
Yeah.
But I feel like if somebody has been out there for that long, your instincts are going to be different. It's the same thing with, like, there again, like I talk about evolution. People are going to evolve. Oops, I forgot to turn my
Think about all the moonshiners like Popcorn Sutton. I mean, they practically lived off that land 95% of the time.
But things are definitely going to be, I feel like if there was a drone or something different that wasn't in their everyday environment, they're going to hear it coming and probably dodge it somewhere.
There's plenty of places to hide.
Yeah, I'm like, there's probably, some way or another for them to pretty much kind of avoid being seen.
I mean, I've been to some places up there where if you really wanted to be gone, you could be gone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got family that has done that.
No, I'm saying, like, I've been out there.
No, I'm
off the beaten path.
Like, seriously.
Just pulled over on the side of the road.
There's one of my grandma's cousins that decided he was wanted by the law, and he ain't been back since.
There's places you can go up there and you never be seen. And there's plenty of people up there who are old school, and they will take care of you as well.
Yeah, and all of our seriousness now, we're a paranormal show, so let's get to the good stuff.
Sorry, I was getting.
I know we're doing Appalachian history.
Appalachian is very, 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 very close to my heart. So
I get that, but this is a paranormal show, not a Appalachian Mountain.
I'm from there.
Mountain show.
I love Appalachian.
Yeah, well, he loves you.
So you got a combination.
We love you, and but we got to get to the spooky stuff. So in the Appalachian Mountains, you got what? You got Indian folklore. You got now some that I've noticed is here lately. There's been a lot of people talking about mimics. Have y'all know what I'm talking about?
I've been seeing that a lot.
Yep, a lot of mimics. I think that young lady that I shared with y'all, Loie Lane. Did y'all watch any of her stuff? You need to watch some of her stuff because she's really, really good, and she's from like Georgia, so she's a Southern girl.
She a Southern belle?
I've seen a couple of it.
She's over in California now, though.
No.
There again, I was trying to find the right video.
Yeah.
Because I get my ADD kicks in.
Yeah.
And the video that I was attempting to watch, that I was kind of scanning through. I was like, okay, we're kind of not on the subject of like anything scary right now. She was talking about like an outfit of some sort.
Yeah, you were watching her because she's a model.
Yeah. So
you gotta look at Loie Lane and like her scary stories.
Yeah.
Back to mimics.
Well, that's
No, I'm saying back to mimics.
No.
Don't ever answer one.
Oh, my family's from the mountains, Bubba.
Do not answer.
You're not the only one here.
That's inviting stuff.
Shoot, my family left Norway and places like that and went straight to the Appalachian, so I'm just mountain.
Yeah, that's where my whole family came from.
So there is a guy that she follows, and she plays a lot of his videos, and this thing kind of follows him around. And
it'll call out familiar voices to you.
It's so bad for his that it's done started using his voice.
Oh, then that's how you know.
Yep. So he's calling himself.
There was one video of a lady who she had just dropped her son off at his friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
Like 20 minutes before that.
Yeah.
And she's laying in the bed with her other son in the bedroom, and is knocking at the door, and it's her other son. She just dropped off.
Oh yeah. I saw that. I heard that. Yeah. I did. I know which one you're talking about.
And if they're trying to get you to answer to invite them in.
Yeah.
Do not ever answer it.
No.
Ever. Don't even acknowledge that it's there.
Oh.
It said go. Mm-hmm. It said go. God, might have made me get chills.
Yeah, I think that you've got so much stuff. So you've got between, if there are like your feral people living there, once they actually pass, you have the people that between, all the different folklores that people talk about. You have hikers that have been there that have probably like passed away. You have families that have been on these trails and somehow or another, somebody goes missing.
So yeah, talking about that, like there was a person that my family knew. I don't remember his name, so everybody's just gonna have to forgive me on that one. But so him and his dog were hiking and camping on the Appalachian Trail, and there was a situation one night where something came to his campsite, and so the guy lived. Let's get that out there. So,
okay, you had me. I was like,
he lived.
Oh, yeah,
he did disappear for a little bit. Like, I'll tell you about it. So here we go. The guy came and started coming up to his campsite, and at first he just thought it was a guy that maybe just needed some help. The guy sat down and he offered the guy coffee and all this stuff, and so this went on, and what?
It says tails.
See, there we go.
Like a tale.
Yeah, my grandmother told. I'm telling the story exactly how my grandmother would have told it. So anyway, he was sitting there camping. He was helping this guy, and the guy he just started getting this weird vibe from the guy, and eventually asked the guy to leave. The guy left, but the next night, the guy was like, it was getting dark, and he was, the family member was trying to find somewhere to camp or whatever, but the guy was behind him.
Wait, he moved camping sites?
Yeah, because he was
hiking. The guy was still there?
No, every campsite he would move to, the guy would show up. Yeah. So I've never hiked on the Appalachian Trail, and you can ask Joy every time she asked us. What?
Said no.
See? Every time. And I would say no, because my grandmother told me to stay the hell away from that.
So anyways, keep going about that
guy. The guy would just keep showing up. And then finally, my family, the way they are, he was just kind of like, hey, you need to stop following me, or you know what I mean, you're going to have a disagreement. And the guy was like, I'm not worried about a disagreement. You need to be worried about me.
What the hell?
Hold on. He went in the tent to get my family member. Went in the tent to get his weapon. When he came back out, the guy was gone. But the problem was, we in the woods.
You don't just disappear like that.
What?
Just sad.
Yep, sad. Yep. He got sad because the dog was missing. And then,
that's what I was about to say. Where the heck was the dog?
The dog would growl the whole time at the person. But then when he turned his back, he came back out. The guy and the dog were gone.
Talk about vulnerability there.
Yep.
I'm like, not only did you scare the living shit out of me by following me around, but then you done took my damn dog.
Well,
that was like my buddy protection.
Yeah, and it still ain't, we're not done.
Oh, Lord.
The next night, he started smelling something. He just didn't know what he was smelling. And he said it smelled like sweet and like sour.
I know that motherfucker ain't cooked his dog.
Empty.
He had emptied the dog's, and this is getting a little weird. He had emptied the dog's guts out, right? And hung them in the trees as down the trail.
What?
Yeah. So this went on and went on. So now, he's my family member is pissed. Now it done went from sadness to anger, and he's like, you know what? I'm tired of being hunted. I'm gonna start hunting. And the game was on at that point because guess what he did? He left the section of the trail. Yeah. See, I'm getting like chicken.
He done went into the other man.
He went into the
territory.
Yep. So
that's all he did.
Well, the issue is that wasn't a man. That was a mimic. And
he said merely.
Huh?
He said merely.
Yep. And I got goosebumps. Like I'm right now as I'm talking. It's like, ooh. But he found the dog like the rest of the carcass the next night, and then the entity was sitting in the tree. But it wasn't sitting like you're sitting on his butt. He was sitting like with his feet on the limb, and he was just crouched. And the thing was like, basically told our family member, your guts will be in the tree by tonight. And my family member, at that point, started a Indian ceremony, Native American ceremony. And they don't, like, I saw my grandmother do this once. I don't know how to do it, but it's funny that, you know, I chose this blue because that's the color of the flame that would come out when my grandmother and them would do this, like, ceremony. It kind of, have y'all ever watched the Poltergeist? Where they do the Native American ceremony? It was something similar to that. And when the native spirit came to the guy, our family member, the other thing kind of backed away a little bit. And it was like, oh, you know, kind of like, you know, started getting nice again. You know, I'm sorry, this and that, you know, da-da-da-da. And then the family member was close to where he wanted to go, how far he wanted to go. He's done lived in the woods now, so he's thinking he's there from, my grandmother said that a weekend. He thought that he was, you know, just camping for the weekend. Well, by the time he come out the woods, it had been 3 weeks.
Good Lord.
Yeah. It had been 3 weeks. He had almost probably been, my grandmother said that she thinks that a thing possessed him, and then he killed the dog himself.
They can do that.
Yeah, so
if you welcome
it wasn't him. It wasn't the thing.
If it's a mimic, he welcomed in the moment he said you can come sit down.
Yeah, and so there was a little bit of mimic possession, I guess, is what my grandmother would call
mimic
it.
Is the mimic is like.
So he had been gone for like 3 weeks, and then.
So then, is he still possessed when he left?
No, as soon as he left the trail, everything was fine.
When you leave the area, normally it's gone.
Yeah, and the only thing was he was sad because his dog was gone. That was, you know. But he wasn't necessarily right anymore.
It'll affect you forever.
You know that one at the family reunion, that group of the family that was there that was just kind of a little bit off? I'm not going to call any names, but they were off.
Was it the woman with the kids?
Yeah, like her and her...
They were younger.
Yeah, but...
a little heavier set.
Yeah, that was his daughters. And they carried that with them everywhere they went. And my grandmother always told me, she was like, don't engage. Don't engage. Just don't. And so I used to stay away from them a lot. And then, you know, when my grandmother...
So maybe there was still some possession in him, if she knew...
No, I just think it just messed his head up, like PTSD. It was pretty bad what he went through. Like, I have to tell the story fast. You know, there was more details.
A lot of them don't make it out of that.
Well, when you are in belief of your native heritage...
a lot of people do not make it out of that.
No, regular Caucasian people don't normally make it out, no, because they don't know the ways. Like, I'm talking like city folk, you know what I'm saying? Like, people that have never been to the mountain and all that stuff. But
what is that?
Rose. Rose.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did like a ceremony for the dog and all that.
It says rose, like...
Yeah, they put...
No, like roses. A rose. Oh.
Yeah, the rose. They put roses out for the dog.
Oh, Lord.
My grandma's trying to correct me, I guess. Some of the best... It's kind of weird when she gets... I feel like sometimes it is, yeah.
Whatever it is right there to the left.
Oh, yeah.
With me,
So, you know.
I mean, you gotta imagine, you know, all this stuff kind of going on. I mean, mimic would be probably the best term to describe something like that because it's learning.
Yeah.
From everybody.
It's more intelligent.
You know, I'm like, you're learning different things. You're able to do exactly that. Mimic somebody, something.
Jim.
Damn.
Jim, like a name or like...
Name.
Yeah, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah.
So...
Did that ring a bell?
Oh, yeah, that's the guy that was in the woods.
Maybe the mimic's trying to speak. I don't know. It kind of made me nervous.
It ain't the mimic.
Okay.
It's my grandmother. My grandma will not let... You can ask Joy. Any foul spirit has been blocked several times, and that's one reason why.
Whatever it is, it's sitting with you and it's flashing.
Yeah, Grandma Pauline.
It's flashing.
Oh yeah, she's a very, very, very powerful spirit.
It was blue, which is the most powerful color on the thing. That's crazy.
But anywho,
What's the difference? What's the difference between a mimic and a skinwalker?
A skinwalker is a Native American spirit.
I've heard of skinwalkers all the time. Like they say they're evil.
Skinwalkers typically are evil, just like a mimic. But skinwalker and a mimic is kind of the same thing. Right? So skinwalkers is more Navajo. To where like mimic is
Cherokee.
Yeah, mimic is a Cherokee thing.
Because Cherokee's that's what's very big in our mountain region.
Mr. Joy, what you got on your notes there? I see you fumbling.
I was just looking.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there was something you wanted that we not.
I mean, the same thing. This other lady. I mean, she was out there camping. Same thing.
Yeah.
Her and her husband. Which now this one I find kind of odd because they were camping out there and she walked off, in the woods, go use the restroom or whatever, and she heard something go meow meow.
Oh yeah.
Which is
these, yeah.
But the thing is, it was something that her and her husband do.
Yeah. I was trying to fit in. Yeah. Go ahead.
To each other. So, in that aspect, unless the mimic heard them doing this during their, their camping.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, how did it know then?
Well, I think what it does is, just like any kind of spirit, it can kind of pick your brain. It can go memories. It can. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So any kind of spirit, yeah.
But she knew that she was pretty far from her husband, and she's like, this thing, it sounded like him, except for the tone. It was more like a monotone. Yeah. And she said it sounded like it came directly, like it was directly behind her, but she's like, there's no way that it could have been her husband because he would literally have to scream it from the distance of where she actually was. And then even when she went to go tell him, I guess both of them were like, we ain't doing this. And they started packing up. And they're like, the minute they started packing up, they started like feeling like something was surrounding them. And then as they're kind of walking away, it felt like they were being chased by something. And you turn around and nothing's there.
Ain't that some stuff?
Yeah. I mean, it's a game.
Yeah.
It's a game to whatever is out there. And I mean, if you think about it, why do people go in an actual woods? Majority of the time, they're hunting.
Yeah.
That's what it says. It says mimics are known as a cryptic entity who's known to mimic the voice of its victims in order to lure them out away from whoever they're with.
And I'm like, how many movies have they done like that, horror movies or whatever? That's what people do when they typically go in the woods. I'm like that a mimic is basically hunting. That's their way of hunting their actual prey.
Yeah.
That's why they say never go in the mountains, like in the woods, by yourself.
Yeah, and they also no, you don't do that, and then you don't whistle.
Never whistle
at night. No.
Yeah, during the daytime, for instance, if you're sitting at a campfire, a lot of people just sit there and start whistling. Do not do that.
Yeah.
That's like a call.
My grandmother, she has taught me several times that, because back in the day they had to use, like Joy likes to call it, the outback house. But it was the outhouse. But and my grandmother said that theirs was probably at least 50 yards away from the house.
Too damn far.
And she's like, there was one night she just couldn't. Her stomach was hurting real bad. She just couldn't. Like, there's no way.
There's a reason why they invented those toilets in the house with bowls.
Well, this was way before that. Or my family wasn't rich enough to have that. So, anyway, they didn't have running water in, like, a bathroom. So she, like, and her sister wouldn't get up and all that. So she went out there, and she's like, everything was fine, you know. And then she heard, what?
Just shout.
Yeah, she heard shouting in the woods. And then the shouting turned into a cat meow.
So that's what I just read. They can shapeshift into different objects.
Well, hang tight. You spoiling. You're spoiling alert. Miss Pauline gonna get mad at you. So she came out of the outhouse, and she looked like she was like the worst thing she could have ever done is she looked at a tree line. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to look in the woods. The woods don't exist.
You're supposed to ignore it all.
Just keep your head down, keep moving. But she did it. She looked down. She looked out there, and she said as soon as she's out there, she saw a lady like come to the edge of the woods, and then as soon as she got to the edge of the wood, she turned into a bobcat. What?
Contrast.
Yeah, it's a contrast. That's where something it shifts.
Well, that's what I was reading a minute ago. There's actually an Appalachian folklore of a mimic called the Old Lady.
Yeah, well, that's the old hag. Yeah, I still have.
They're talking about how she turns into a cat.
Yes, but she also will stand up. You know how cats
stand up 15 foot tall, what it says.
Yeah. So anyway, the thing turned into a bobcat, started running after her.
Oh hell! No. I mean,
so and then she got into the house, and ever since then, people in my family have had the
farther.
Yeah. It's further away from the house. She said it seemed like the outhouse was a whole lot further when she was on her way back.
Oh, heck yeah.
So, ever since then, even Miss Joy, she's had to wake me up when the old hag visits. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all.
You know, we're still down here where we are. Marshville's a little bit we get a little bit past it is where the line starts moving, but we're still all in the Appalachia, so all this stuff is like very close to here.
Well, that even people that were raised in Charlotte.
This was saying this is
didn't
considered Appalachia.
Your mom and him talk about don't whistle or something? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, see.
I was gonna say it's funny how like you have
it transcends.
Yeah, I mean to different cultures.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It's wild, man.
I sat around a bonfire in my house about a year ago whistling, and I got a weird feel. It was windy, and it got silent that night.
Yeah.
Something told me to go inside. I let the fire burn, and I went right inside.
Yeah.
I was just trying to. I was trying to put it to the test, honestly.
I'm gonna be making sure that I'm gonna have me a little bucket inside there. I would not be going to that dang old outhouse at night.
Man, I shoot right out that damn window.
After that.
My ass be sticking out the window, I'll be shitting.
Daniel, I thought about the same thing. I was like, I told my grandmother when I was little, I was like, there ain't no way. I said, my ass would have been poked out that window.
I would have been shitting.
And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I would have shit outside in that window.
Hey, I would have shit on all these balls right
now.
You can forget that. I'm like, oh no, something chasing you like that. And then not even that, but you also, visually saw it shift from an actual human being to a freaking dang old animal.
It's 15 foot tall.
Yeah, hell no. One thing that I can say is, though, you haven't had that, you hadn't had any experiences in quite some time.
Well, so, I hang my Odin and Thor over my head.
So luckily we haven't had any issues, because I know when that happens, it scares the damn living shit out of me. It wakes me the hell up, and then I'm like, oh, it's one of those like, I need to wake him up, but I don't want to get punched in the face either, because I don't know how he's going to react.
There's no, just wait.
I keep a wooden stick beside the bed.
Just wake me up.
I'd keep it in there like
I'll be so happy to get away from whatever it is that you're
I keep one of those like Walking Dead sticks.
Well, I'm like,
oh my God! I'm sorry, it said pole.
Yeah.
let me tell you, it ain't very easy to
That's
wake
a
up.
sign. You need to keep a pole beside the bed.
I got my back scratching right above my head.
She's gonna break the hell out of that back scratcher right across the back of your big ass head.
Yeah.
Whack.
I don't know, because it's harder than wake David up
We're probably
sometimes.
getting a whack fuck here. Whack.
Yep. That's pretty much it. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, I've had some wild stuff, man. And I was riding my bike this morning on the way to work, and I was kind of thinking about today's show and trying to, kind of like process some things that like Appalachian and all this stuff and.
Isn't it dark when you leave the house?
Yeah.
It is dark over there.
Now let me tell y'all something. The other morning when I was blowing out the woods,
that was a dark.
The dark was dark enough that it ate the dark, like it was dark. And
That's what I was about to say.
I bet I know exactly where you were too.
But
do you even have any light?
yeah, I wired a light on that damn stand-up blower. Everybody picking on me. I'm like, no, y'all ain't the ones out there. Y'all not out there. So I wired one. I got a little switch on it and everything. But I was out there, and it was after the storm. So every now and again, there would be limbs on the trail, and I would have to pick it up and throw it. But every time I got off, I could feel, like, I've never felt that since our childhood. What?
Hadn't.
Yeah, I hadn't. I didn't say I hadn't felt. Did I not say hadn't? Haven't. I said haven't. Hadn't. Yeah, I guess somehow I'm being corrected here. But anyway.
It actually used the punctuation and everything.
So, I haven't felt that feeling since I was a child. Where something was chasing me.
Now, what trail? Like, how
I know where you're
far
talking about.
Far back.
He's talking about.
are you pretty much having to go? Like you're talking
like
about
all the way back.
All the way back. Okay, so
You know
where that girl
the
died?
side pond and all that. That way back there where, like,
those backfields.
kind of like if you went through the woods, you'd be down at the Dodge place.
you gotta go all the way down through there.
Oh
The
yeah.
whole
And
gravel.
below?
The gravel. area.
Everything that's gravel.
The gravel.
Yeah.
I know what he's talking about.
But I was back
I've
there.
been out there and I got scared.
I didn't get scared until I got off.
I've been out there and got scared because I thought
No.
something was chasing the gator. Or the.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even on the Kubota now, so I'm standing there on a light. I stand-up lawnmower that's got a blower on the front of it.
Dude.
So I'm standing there, I get off, and I just stuck my headphones in because I don't want to hear what's going on. I don't want to hear what's going
Yeah,
on.
sometimes that's the best.
That is what was out there that day with you and me in the woods. That was a fucking mimic.
Yeah, it's possible, but
The way it moved.
yeah, but I was sitting there, and it would almost feel like the darkness was closing in on me every time I got off that machine. And there was a couple times there, like I'm not playing. It felt like something stung me, like right in my back. And then I finally, I started, I was like, hey, my ancestors, grandma, everybody, I said, y'all better get me out of here, because I'm out here, I'm outdoor. I got to do what I got to do, and it kind of subsided a little bit, and then.
Whatever it was, then a powerful deal.
It was not good. It wasn't good, whatever it was. I'm telling you, it felt... If you ever watch The Evil Dead when that thing's chasing that person
Like he was choking.
and it's what it felt like. And I'm like, oh, God. But, I survived again. But
And why have we ever talked about going camping?
camping's actually not that bad.
No.
You still in the damn woods.
Yeah, but you're
if
not.
you go to a campground,
It's different.
you go to a campground where there's several other people around.
Well, not even that. I could do primitive camp. Like, if you got a fire and all that, I've been out there camping. And
Most of the stuff that happens is where it lures you away from your camp.
Yeah. It's when you get away from the camp.
So, for instance, like if you were to walk off to use the bathroom or something, right? And you'd hear like someone sound like David talking to you in the woods.
Don't answer it. Like, I would suggest...
How would you not answer it?
Well,
You don't.
Listen,
What if
no, every family that's in the woods and the mountains and all that, you have a safe word. You don't tell anybody that safe word.
They all have safe words.
Did you just
The mimic,
not?
the mimic cannot do the same. That is the thing. That is
They can't know because it's in your head.
It's a loop. Yeah, they can know what's in your head, but they don't know what you're. So there's a loophole where they can't. If your family sets a safe word, they don't never like it works. It works. I can tell you that.
So
like if you're safe,
camping,
and you need to have if you hear my voice going, babe, come here, I gotta show you something, and it don't say apples.
the first damn thing I'm gonna
Vegetables.
Yep, see,
the first damn
it's
thing.
always a vegetable, like a piece of I know what Grandma said. Hers was green bean.
The first damn thing that I'm gonna say, if I hear you, I mean, of course, I would
never
for you to go with me.
If you got
No.
This would be like if y'all were sitting at the.
If you were going to the no, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. If we're camping and you're going, you get up, I'm gonna be up. I already know that.
Because I can go and tell you, automatically,
and Daniel ain't
it's
sitting at the fire by himself, so.
instinct that when you hear, especially if you're not with me.
Okay, so do you know why they make like 10 people tent?
B.
Yep. You know why they make because I felt like a sting, like a bee. That's what I felt like. Yeah. But that's why they make 10 people tents and stuff like that. So everybody kind of like in the same tent. You start separating people. It's kind of like
You don't
that.
want to separate on camp.
It's like a predator. You know when a predator's hunting, they wants to separate the weakest link. But
I mean, even when my dad took me and my brother-in-law camping, it was the three of us, and that's the same one we hiked.
I think you need to experience like primitive camping once in your life.
Just not alone.
Why was she going to the woods by herself to go camping?
Because I'm going to tell you, if I was somewhere and I heard you calling me, the first thing I'm going to say is, what? I'm going to turn around and say, what?
No, you can say what.
Oh.
You just don't go. And when it goes, come here, you just don't go there.
You don't even acknowledge it. Said hi.
Yeah, see, it'll speak. It'll be like, hey. But you kind of know, like, my behavior. You know what I'm saying? It could use my voice, but it can't use my behavior.
True.
It's not going to go, like, me, if I'm out in the woods with you, I'm like, hey, buddy, I'm going to do something stupid. It's going to be something silly. But it's just going to use the tone.
He's just going to be like, come here, come look at this.
And most of the time, it's going to call you by your name and not like a pet name.
Yeah, it's not
going to go, Joy.
It's not going to say babe like he does to you. It's going to say Joy.
He's going to be Joy, come here. And you're going to be like,
the fuck?
And that's when you wouldn't even say nothing because you hear my voice calling you Joy. Like the other night, I was picking at you. But typically in a situation like that, I'm what? Bent?
Yeah.
I don't know what. Oh, she probably talking about you about to bend some over my head the other night. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Joy had that look.
I ain't going to tell you.
Joy had that deaf look the other night when I called her Joy.
Mm-hmm. What you call me?
So I'll never.
That ain't my
That's
name.
the thing is I'm never gonna call you camping. Like I'm not gonna go, Joy, come here. And this is it. It sound like this, Joy. Kind of like
we all have a different. Yeah.
And you're gonna know, like, cause
this is what I'm gonna be doing.
So like one time,
I'll be shaking my dang head, trying to figure out. Don't turn around.
Listen.
Stay straight forward. Where can we go to find safety and other people?
What was that?
It said pitch.
Pitch? Oh, yeah, like the pitch of your voice. Yeah. It's good. The pitch is going to be a little different. It's kind of the same.
A little off.
Yeah.
Just a little, just a hair. Just enough that you can be like, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Don't be asking me to go camping anytime soon.
Hey, you can be like, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Yeah, I shouldn't be by myself. That's
you wouldn't be.
You'll never be by yourself.
The whole point of the camping, like with people, is to be with the people that you are with. But because even that night when the three of me, my father, and my brother-in-law, when we went up there and did that, the three of us were in sleeping bags, and we would make sure all three of our sleeping bags touched each other, so we would know if any of us, any three of us moved, we'd know. Heading.
Yeah, that's I ain't gonna be going camping anytime soon.
And we also made sure the fire stayed lit all night because once it gets dark, it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can imagine. Heck, already.
No.
When I'm over there at the dang on window looking at our back door, I'm like, I'm waiting.
I'm gonna tell you.
I get a feeling somebody be walking past that damn fence.
I don't look at it that way.
There ain't no dark in this entire Charlotte region that I've ever felt that's as dark as up there.
No,
there just ain't.
Yeah.
And it gets to when, even though the sun set at the same time as here, there's enough hills that if it gets dark here at 7, you just know it's going to be dark there at 6.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she experienced some of that like at Norway because they got
the mountain region is going to be dark.
Once the sun got to one side of the mountains over there, it was done, and it got really cold.
And it's very quick.
Yeah.
It goes fast, yeah.
Yeah.
Mountain region, sure. The mountain region is just a complete different beast up there, man. I spent most of my childhood up there.
I know this is off of our subject a little bit, but talking about Norway and everything, it made me ponder about that actual castle and those small little nooks that we found.
Yeah.
That had these the steps.
Yeah.
And that stairway was very narrow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't consider myself to be
Was that so something couldn't chase you up?
I don't know if it was like that or if it was like a little dungeon of some sort. But it makes makes you wonder because it was literally maybe what's this road, like a 5 by 7. Some of the area was about that size, and then off in the corner somewhere would be, that's maybe 2 feet, about 2 feet wide, like a stairway that kind of curved.
3 foot, so.
Oh yeah, it was smaller.
That door was 3 foot. So.
Yeah, so you're probably looking at a 2 foot space in a deep kind of 5 by 7 area, and there was multiple of them because. There again, that whole area, I tried to get footage of, at least get to the edge around everywhere of the actual castle to kind of, especially the ones that still had somewhat of a structure that was still there, but the ones that actually had some type of structure that was, you at least had a basis kind of foundation that you can still kind of walk around and see. Mm-hmm. All of those places had a little spot like that. And then the other one, it was almost like I must have found the corner area.
Yeah.
Remember when I went off to the edge? And it was a round area, but it was a hole.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hole straight down there.
Yeah, it was wild.
That sounds crazy.
Maybe it was a dungeon.
That's where they keep the dragons.
But it was definitely a different kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Or vibe that you kind of got.
It seemed a little bit darker in those areas, yeah.
Yeah, because even when we were up there, when I think it was that Saturday, when it was a little bit more crowded and there was more people up there, and I didn't necessarily get an opportunity to actually go in there because there's kids, family, everybody kind of in that actual area. But the day that we went up there again, and it was just us, and there may have been 1 or 2 other people kind of walking around. But the minute that you step onto it, it was there's a different feeling.
Yeah.
That you definitely got from the castle.
The terrain up there at the top. Mm-hmm. I felt like I like something. I feel like something's watching me, and I didn't feel very welcome.
To the corner? You talking about the one where I went to the corner where the big hole?
No. I'm talking about the actual terrain that's left, the big part, the part of the tall part of the castle that's left.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some definitely didn't feel right there, but I got bad. I didn't have great vibes, but I'm curious and I'm really stupid, and I just keep on forging forward just because my curiosity gets the best of me, is to go and look.
Never
but yeah,
that.
I doubt that was a mimic.
I'm just saying, but they do love that.
Yeah, but this was like open area.
I'm just saying, going back to that, that's what they want you to do.
Yeah, they will want you to be cut off. But what happened to you in that situation? That wasn't.
No, I didn't say that was him, but that's the kind of personality they like.
I get it. I'm just saying I don't want nobody thinking that that's what we're saying, that the mimics are,
No, they can be anything.
I've had a battle on social media all week, so I'm kind of a little more. Yeah. So I had that video that got 26,000 views, and it went like micro viral. And some of the hate that come with that, I swear. But anyway, that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't really care what they say. Most of them I looked didn't even have a profile picture and had like 25 followers, so it didn't really bother me too much. But yeah, up there and that, I just kept looking, and I don't know. I just got the feeling like there was one time I had like a voice kind of like I heard, and it was like, "You're not welcome here, Viking," and that was how they would say Viking back then. And I'm just thinking, maybe that's, because the guy that built that was a Christian, and he was one of the guys that made Leif Erikson convert to Christianity. And,
now that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So when I was sitting there, and I got, a Mjolnir, and I got runes on my head and stuff like that, they're like, yeah, you need to get away from here. But, yeah.
So going back to our little
King Magnus was his name. What?
Mountain stuff.
Yeah.
Why is it that it seems that a lot of the folklore are all circled around Cherokee?
Because they were there before anybody.
They're the first settlers of the Appalachian region.
Yeah. And
that's why they have there's a whole part of North Carolina called Cherokee.
She knows that.
I'm just saying that's just why, though.
That's the Riz, man.
Yeah. Catawba is a Cherokee name.
It's not the area, it's called a Riz.
No, there's actually like a town in North Carolina called Cherokee.
But that's the Riz.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because the Skinwalkers.
It's a reservation.
That was.
And they have their own laws.
Because I feel like. A lot of people said that they saw the whole Skinwalkers was near the reservation.
Yeah.
As well. And a lot of even the stuff that happened in the Appalachian Mountains.
Well, a lot of the folklore happens when other settlers started coming in, they would desecrate Native American graves and anger the spirits.
Because this one right here, because there's a few, because this one actually is a Cherokee folklore that they call it a wampus cat, which is supposed to be a protective spirit that defeated a demon.
Ours, yeah.
Defeated a demon called Iwa.
Yeah.
A spirit of madness.
Yep.
So it basically drove people crazy.
Yeah. Do you ever hear me go to the house sometimes and I go, Iwa, Iwa? Like I'm making like a noise, like an Iwa.
No.
You ever pay attention? She don't pay attention.
I've heard it at work before when I work with you.
I'll sit there and say that because it's like a sign, like my grandma would do it now. In the garden after she would get mad at some of the family members. And she was like, Iwa, make me go into madness.
And then another thing I've heard of the Wendigo.
Yeah.
For sure.
The Wendigo.
But another one for the Cherokee, which they don't call this one as a skinwalker, but it is a shapeshifter that has almost like a stone skin witch with a long knife in place of
that's the old hag.
One of her fingers, but they call it a spear finger.
Spear finger, yep. But people from the island of Caucasus changed a lot of the names, and it became the old hag.
You got moon-eyed people too.
Spear finger is what normally sits on my chest.
So it's where did all this come from?
It's the spirits where does anything come from?
They're all spirits. A lot of that comes from evil.
Everything with Christians is an evil.
I didn't say all of those and all spirits, but most of these.
You're gonna get my grandma started in a minute. What'd she say?
Duty.
Mm-hmm. Duty. Like doo-doo.
Well, I mean, a lot of these spirits.
You better get right, because she done called you on your duty.
So I'm talking like these mimics and a lot of these aggressive things. They're straight evil.
Well, they're evil because
they're evil.
Originally, what caused them to be that is the anger.
That's what I'm saying. So, like,
the anger of desecration.
We're going back, okay, to, because it does seem that a lot of the folklore, these creatures and things like that, are based around some type of Native American stuff.
That was loud.
You gonna tell us what it said?
Catch.
Only because sometimes I can't make it.
Catch these hands. So Daniel, you gonna catch these hands?
Well, he's sitting there bouncing back and forth in front of me.
You better watch that.
You gonna get popped upside your head.
He's bouncing up in front. Oh my God! Why is this hitting me?
I'm talking about so evil.
It turned red too.
Yeah, I'm sure, because it got cold over here.
Do we think or feel like it's from like the same, like a similar concept of to where you have demonic spirits? Like, I almost feel like
demonic spirits is a Christian, and that is a Christian concept.
Like, that's not the right term, but
evil.
Evil.
I almost feel like, well, part of me, my thought process,
Dark.
Dark is a good word for it. That's what my
is
grandma
almost like these are things that actually, like, physically, like, existed.
Yeah.
You know, like it was some type of being of some sort. Like, this wasn't something that was made up. Like, it is something that was around.
Conjured.
During that time. You know, that was around during that time. Like, it was a, like, living being.
Well, source, and, you know, because native.
That's just, like, immortal.
Something is in my head right now feeding me words. And
nor, like, Native Americans. What?
Can't.
I guess I ain't. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I ain't supposed to give out stuff. But I'll keep going. So, natives believe that we come from source. That's what they call it. If you translate it, instead of God, they say source.
Okay.
We are all part of source. We belong to the source of life. But then the source also has other beings that have never been human, which Christians name demons. Mm-hmm. So there's different.
He says don't.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna stop there then.
Because I definitely feel like there's too much that all start from that. From natives.
Yeah.
Like, everything it's kind of like a what is that, like a Venn diagram? Is that what it is? When you, like, back in the day when we'd make it, and it's like Native Americans in here, and then you've got like all these little that goes towards like all these different folklores and all these different creatures and beings and things like that. And that's what it seems like, that it has primary source has come from that, and then it's kind of sprouted to different cultures and things like that, because it's all kind of called something different, or it's very similar.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
Yeah. So like, for me, in Norse paganism, you have Odin, which is the All-Father, right? He is the king god, but he isn't the creator. He's not the sole creator. There was more than him. I just said Magnus a while ago.
Well, I thought it was weird because I'm sitting here trying to feel like almost like magnet. I was trying to absorb, like listen, like when there's voices.
Well, what you're saying is you better be careful because you're gonna be a magnet in a minute.
No, like I was trying to like.
Yeah.
As y'all were talking back and forth about, I'm trying to magnetize. Yeah. Like I was trying to think about why, like what is these folklore, like why do they exist?
Why do they exist? So every.
So I was opening my mind up for knowledge is what I was trying to get at. Every
being and every spiritual belief, every religion, all that stuff. Everybody, they have a concept of what good and bad is.
So that brings you back to
it all goes down to your values.
Immortality then.
They said why?
Mean, because these things don't die.
It just said why.
I guess they're saying, why do we gotta know?
I'm like, they don't. Well, we are educating the masses.
Yeah.
With different thoughts, different ideas,
Quit fucking with shit. If you see something in the woods, leave it there. All these people, look what I found in the woods. Y'all seen them people on like TikTok and stuff, like somebody will be digging something up and they'll be like, no, put it back.
Yeah.
Put it back.
Mm-hmm. Start digging, start looking a little funny.
Yeah.
Ain't no archaeological artifact of some sort.
Yeah.
You said walk.
Yeah, keep walking.
Walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Walk
That's
away.
like a back.
Abort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to that.
Because all of it has evolved.
Yeah.
And you got to think, that was a long, long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it still exists till this day.
Yeah. I tell y'all what, though. There was a guy in Sweden. He lives in the lower part of the Alps. And he had heard like it was like a humming noise or whatever. And went up. What? Theirs. He went up there and what he captured was scary and astonishing at the same time, because it looked like two Norse gods sitting on top of that hill.
That's crazy.
And they were moving. There's no statues up here. This is my house. This is where my house is. There's no relics here. There's none of that. And he was like, but it looked like, I'm not going to lie. I had to watch the video, and I'm getting chills again. I had to watch the video like 4 times. Because it looked like one of them had like the spear, the gun there, which is Odin's spear. What?
Floor.
Yeah, well, it was hitting the ground. And, yeah, I'm going to try to find that video later and show it to you.
Whoever this is talking, it loves to finish your sentences.
My grandmother, because we used to sit on the front porch. If that thing starts talking about birds, I know it's her. If it says anything about a bird, because that's what popped in my head a little while ago. Before we're done.
That's so funny because I was looking at your bird on your arm a minute ago.
Yeah. Well, that's one of Odin's ravens.
Still a bird.
Hugin or Mugen. Do y'all know what that translates into? Memory and thought. And Hugin is the one that Odin is scared will never come back. That's his memory. He's scared that the memory won't come back, so there's a nice little story there. But yeah, there's some kind of deity in every belief, in every spiritual, yeah. So, you take it, whatever I guess makes you, I don't know, what makes you comfortable, But then, no matter what, there's always something in the background, something that don't want you around.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah, she said, mm-mm.
Yep. Ain't gonna be no woods for me for a minute.
I'd be like, is it Uncle Joe? Nope.
Yep, that's right.
I changed my mind.
I changed my mind. Get the fuck out there. I changed my mind.
I changed my mind. He ran out there. I changed my mind.
I'm like, babe, come on back. And nope.
I changed my mind.
She was like, abort. Abort.
I mean, look at y'all like, something don't feel right.
She was looking at us like, oh, hell no.
Why the hell you got me out here like this? Why did I agree?
Well, hell no.
Yeah, they ain't sure. I was just sitting there like,
You know what's gonna happen if the three of us were to go camping and you were to get separated and you would bruh.
What'd I say?
Send.
Oh Lord.
But you know, like if you were to go out there and it was like that's what I'm saying, if the mimic would send would try to be like me. You know what you're gonna hear, don't you?
Medea.
Hey, what the hell? What's up? Hell y'all doing? you can hear John.
No.
And you know it ain't me because I call you Miss Joy. So.
That's what I tell everybody. I was like, we're talking about that, how like we call certain people. And I was like, yeah. I said, the guys, all of them. I said, they don't, I guess it's just how I carry myself. I said, the same thing with one of our other co-workers. We call her Miss Mary. I'm like, she just gives that big mama vibes. And she's not even a mother at all, but she just has that,
That's good.
her personality and her character, because she's always looking out for everybody, just genuinely, a caring and thoughtful person.
It says good on her.
But yeah, she is a very sweet person.
Oh Lord.
What you done found?
Nothing. Something. One of these comments.
Oh Lord.
This is how my viral video is going. It says, I'm in Central Florida. Most practitioners have been very wary of a big dude covered in Nordic tattoos.
What?
And?
Yeah, I guess they're saying that since I'm covered in... But I don't... See, they leave the door open real hard because their what you call it, username is infectious butt cancer. They leave a door open there, but I'm just gonna be nice and keep moving.
That's actually really funny.
I don't take that as a bad thing when they're like, I'm in Florida. Some people are weary of a guy covered in Nordic. I mean,
I guess
that's a sign that, you know what? I mean, you got somebody that's trying to bring the actual culture, the religion. I mean,
yeah,
it's not. I don't really take that as like a negative.
It's just weird, because they're like, I'm in Central Florida. Most practitioners here have been very wary of a big dude covered in Nordic tattoos.
Most practitioners.
Yeah, I guess of Nordic, any kind of Norse. Yeah, any kind of Norse religion. I don't get that comment.
Make sense to me.
And why would they be wary of me? I don't know.
Maybe they got something about you that they said they're scared of.
I don't know.
Maybe they got some kind of cult thing.
No, I think it's the tattoos on your head.
Going on. That's what I think. They got some type of cult thing going on. They worry.
In Central Florida.
They worry that
they worry at days in
Odin
Florida
has chosen somebody.
Yeah, that don't make sense to me though.
Unusual.
Yeah, it is very unusual.
Yeah.
Like why would I not look like
That's just strange. And if they're all in Florida,
somebody put under there, and your point is what?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, like what else do you have to add to it? Like that's it?
Like, you're all the way up here and they're all the way down there. What the hell are they worried about?
I don't know. I guess they.
It ain't like you. It ain't like your big ass is gonna want to go to the hot ass Florida anyway.
Hell no.
So, all in all, we believe that feral people.
Yep.
Okay. It is possible
Now,
that they are up in the mountains.
You think maybe to kind of round this around the home so we can get out and, make this not a 4-hour show.
I love 4-hour shows.
I don't like editing them because it takes like 2 days. But thank you. Yeah. So, do y'all think that maybe living in those mountains and having to deal with those entities is what makes those people crazy?
Heck yeah, I don't doubt that any.
Because
I've lived up there.
Not like them, Bubba. You ain't never lived like that. Dude, there were people out there I lived that my family, they lived in tar paper houses.
No, we had a house.
No, you didn't live like they do. them people are in the elements. They're not. I don't take it away that you.
So you're still talking about feral people in general, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about people who live up there in general.
No, we're talking about feral people.
We're talking about feral people.
We're trying to summarize the show, bruh.
You trying to come up with another debate talking about you you ain't never lived in no car house. You ain't never done that.
Oh, I ain't.
You ain't never had to shit all over these walls, right? Anyway, I'm thinking that living there in that environment like that, without power, not glamping, I'm talking about living there.
But you know what? Another thought too is, how do we know that they aren't possessed by the mimic?
Maybe they're just all mimics, and we think they're people. They might even be
I don't
people.
think that, but I'm saying like that they're. I almost feel like, I guess my own belief that there has to be some type of like energy source for, in my opinion, of any type of evil or whatever, the mimics, things like that. I feel like there has to be some type of source of power coming from somewhere, and that would be ideal, is to suck it from feral people.
Well, not even that, but I think one of those mountains is like hidden. There's like a lot of quartz there, I believe.
Yes.
And
the mountains are full of minerals.
Well, not mineral. I'm talking about quartz. Like there's a rock. I'm not in science class right now. I'm telling you, quartz rock absorbs energy, and then it could use that, but having human energy, maybe it could.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a way for
maybe that's why the mimics want you in the first place. They want your energy.
You also have, I mean, you're talking about some of these feral people being in incest and things like that. There's some type of like physical deformity. There is some type of mental disability kind of going on, that they're using them somehow and need some type of physical form. I'm not talking about just from the actual mountains, from the earth and things like that. I'm talking about some sort of physical form that you have, and somehow they continue to be able to survive. Yeah. Up there with their limited resources. But in my opinion, I definitely feel like, there's that. I mean, I think there's a possibility that they could be just using them, and it's just like an ongoing.
Or it could be like Darwin. They've evolved so that they're not coherent enough. Like there's a big case of mental retardedness, and they don't understand what those sounds are anyway. So I mean, the mind over time just dooms itself down. That way that they're not worried about it anymore. So then you get these like
there's no comprehension.
They can come and sit with you and draw you.
So basically, they can live in that environment because there is no comprehension to be affected by the actual mimic at all.
Yes. And then after time, you wouldn't even, if it was saying a name, you wouldn't even know because you don't know how to talk. So,
true.
Anyway, that was a pretty good show, y'all.
All right. Well, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a Google review,
comment.
Yeah.
Give us some comments. Tell us your ghost stories.
Yeah. We like the stories. We'll definitely share them.
I definitely found two this week. But
you can send audio files to monsoagency@gmail, which is MONSO agency @gmail, and then I'll play them online. I'll play them in the show, and or if you want to call in, we can set up a time to have you call in. Or if you're in the local area, come on in the studio.
Yep.
You know who you are. Who's got an invite?
Who's got an invite?
You know somebody who listens very faithfully?
Oh, well, yeah, there's a big surprise coming on that one. I'm just going to keep that one, keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, so stay tuned until the next episode